Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to ATR's War Bedlam Media's premier wrestling podcast covering AEW to WWE. I am Sam SLB, future governor of NXT and co-host of ATR's War, ATR Rising Sun. And joining me today, alongside me, is the man behind X, Wrestling Nostradamus, Scott.
We got lots to talk about. Sam, how you doing, my friend?
I'm good. It is 4th of July weekend as we record it, so hopefully when you listen to this, you guys have had a wonderful weekend.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully you still all have your fingers and toes as well.
All 10.
Yes.
Well, I mean, all 10 fingers, all 10 toes. I said that, and I was like, yeah, you're going to have all 10. Well, does that mean 5 toes, 5 fingers, 6 and 4, 80, 20? Guys, before we begin, please make sure you like, share, subscribe. Leave a comment, leave a review, and I'm doing the ending at the beginning. That's fine. We're going to Tarantino this. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Guys, we're at 360 on TikTok. Just follow us. We had a lot of things going on, a lot of fun things. So, we're going to start off a couple of small things we want to talk about. A lot of things going back and forth with potential talent leaving. It's pretty much AEW talent. I'm going to be honest with you. AEW talent that WWE is interested in. Well, first and foremost, Andrew Kabani just re-signed with AEW.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Great. One of the best commentators out there. One of the few people who can do it by himself.
Yes.
We also have confirmation, or at least we were reading rumors that Danhausen and Private Party have interest from WWE when their contracts expire.
I think Danhausen would be a fun fit in NXT. Just the character alone works well with how NXT is. So I think he'd be a fun fit. Private Party would be very interesting to see what they would do. I would assume they'd probably throw them in NXT as well in the beginning. And then kind of, figure out what they're going to do. If they're going to keep calling them Private Party, if they're going to rename them to whatever they'll do. And then we'll see. But I think they would be a very, very talented tag team for WWE to scoop up.
Yes. I mean, I mentioned it on my TikTok for the 300th episode of Dynamite. I was at the second taping of Dynamite where Private Party beat the Young Bucks in the tag team tournament, and they were so fun. It was such a great match. So I think they do great. Danhausen, I'm pretty disappointed in AEW because he's just merchandise ready to sell.
Yep.
Character work. I know he was injured for a minute, but we just have not seen him, and I don't know why. You don't even need him on there for long. You can put him on for 5-10 minutes.
Right? Just even just put him in ROH for a little bit. At least have some visibility for him, but he's just been nowhere. It's funny, actually, speaking of Danhausen, just recently, I think maybe a month or so ago, he was actually up here in Vermont. He was at one of the local wrestling groups companies that we have up here. So that was a nice surprise for them. But yeah,
it was a nice surprise for them too.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see him get some TV time. And if he's going to get let go, then hopefully WWE is able to scoop him up and have him curse people in NXT.
Yes. Yeah, especially with some of the older talent. Again, I think we're moving up. AJ's probably on his way out. John Cena's on his way out. I wouldn't be surprised if Randy's on his way out. You move some of this other talent up. Yeah, throw him in there. Somebody else, and I think this is kind of the main one here that is rumored. So we're reading this off from bodyslam.net. So I'm going to read this off. I don't know the accuracy on this. Mm-hmm. But I think we talked about this recently, personally. I don't think on the show. But sources close to Mark, Wrestle Mobs, have confirmed that Britt Baker is actively seeking to part ways with AEW. This would align with what fans have speculated based on her recent social media activity. As things currently stand, AEW isn't looking to release Baker from her contract. The internal belief is that they don't want any upcoming WWE Pittsburgh shows to be announced, as well as Evolution to pass before letting anything move forward. We're told that Britt feels there's nothing left to keep her in AEW, pointing to burn bridges in a sense that the environment has changed around her. Whether this ends with a quiet release or something louder, the door appears close to shut than ever before.
Yep. I mean,
Uh,
from a business standpoint, it's smart for AEW not to let her go before Evolution happens or before they go back to Pittsburgh, because obviously that's a huge get for WWE if she's able to debut during either one of those shows. I know that there's been a lot of speculation with what's happened with Britt, stuff going on with the company and with her, and then people tried to say something about the breakup with her and Adam Cole, and I don't think that plays as much of a thing as people think put as much weight into it. Yeah, there's a lot of speculation, but nobody really knows. She's not going to be used anymore. Yeah, let her sit at home then, I guess. Let her focus on her dentistry her dentistry work, her practice. And then once her contract's done, yeah, let her, if she wants to keep wrestling, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I am. I know this came up a while ago that rumored had it she had burned some bridges.
Right. Yeah. There was like a fight with MJF or something, and I remember hearing about that. And that really kind of soured. I think Tony soured on her after that, or something to that extent. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so I definitely could see it coming. I'm definitely am leaning, like you said, wait. You don't want to throw her. And again, I'm not particularly fond of the no compete clauses, but technically, I guess she has a contract, and I don't know when it's up.
Right.
I think she'd be really good in WWE. Obviously, I think she'd be in NXT. Not even for a long time.
Right. And honestly, depending on how they think, I mean, she's got, I don't know how much star power she has in WWE's eyes, but you're right. If she goes to NXT, I don't think she's there for long. She's like there for as long as maybe like Julia. Julia was there for a hot minute, and then she was up on the main roster. So I can
Julia, Stephanie,
right? Yeah,
I would be curious to know, and I think I brought this up prior, what would happen with her practice, because AEW she's allowed to practice. A lot more free time, do whatever she wants. WWE, and I think it's lightened up. They're not like they used to be. They're not doing 300 days a year.
Right.
But
I mean, it depends. I mean, if I don't remember exactly where her practice is, but if it's in Florida and if she's in NXT, it probably won't be an issue at all. But yeah, if she's touring, I mean, it might just be exactly how it was the AEW. She was there for, on her off days, and then she's right back in AEW doing her stuff. So I would assume in WWE it would probably be the same thing.
Oh, I found her. All right. Oh, because she's a dentist, you can actually. Oh, Winter Park. All right. That's right near Orlando. So.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
So yeah, I guess she wouldn't have to travel unless it was pay-per-view.
Right. She'd walk to her other job.
Could you imagine that though? I'm just like, you're a dentist. Oh, your dentist can't see you this week because she's, in California for a wrestling pay-per-view she's in.
Yeah. I wonder like how popular her dentistry got, like her practice got after she showed up on like AEW television. I wonder. I'm sure there was lots of wrestling fans like, I all of a sudden want to get dentistry done.
She has an agreement to have Wednesdays off for AEW Dynamite events. So how does that work for travel though? Because there's no way she's hopping on a plane after the show's done.
Right. I don't know.
I thought it was interesting.
It is, yeah.
Regardless, I think if I'm to put money down on a hot free agent in the future, it's Brett.
Yeah.
That's going to be the one we're all talking about down the road.
Yeah.
But more to come.
Yeah, exactly. To switch gears a little bit to Evolution, something that I actually but something I saw earlier today when I had a split second at work. I noticed a couple things on the internet. Apparently, Soraya's been making some comments about Evolution, and there was an Instagram photo from Miss AJ Lee in her wrestling shoes, like her
Yep.
knee-high, laced up shoes, and I'm just like, don't do this to us. The crowd already wants AJ Lee to come back already, but you add Saraya to that or Paige back to that. I mean, Evolution could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, we got, as of recording, we have less than 10 days.
Yep.
So who knows? I mean,
Yeah.
I think we've had this discussion since the last Evolution pay-per-view. WWE's women's division is the strongest it's ever been.
Yes.
You don't need the legends in there.
Right. But I think only because it's been 7 years since they had it. That, and with Liv Morgan getting injured, it really kind of threw a lot of what they wanted to do out the window, because it was supposed to be her and Raquel probably versus the Bella Twins. And so now that's kind of scrapped, and we haven't seen Nikki Bella on Raw ever since. So
yeah,
I'm assuming at some point she'll probably show up in the Battle Royal that they're going to have, which is a staple for that stuff. So that makes sense. But it kind of sucks because I was actually looking forward to seeing what they would do with Liv and Nikki. Would have been interesting, but
yeah. And my take isn't against Saraya, Paige, or AJ Lee. I mean, like, this time around, they like, if they're gonna come back, I mean, you can get people who can come back, not just like Triss is coming back for a match,
right?
You know, you have a full roster of talent. And again, Saraya, she is still young. Probably still got 10 years on her. AJ, I don't know where AJ would land. I know people would want to see her come back.
I mean, that's the perfect place where the Battle Royal is. You have everybody make their surprise returns for the Battle Royal. You know, you don't have to have them in a storyline match. That way you could still focus on the rest of the wrestlers that are currently on the roster to be able to have all their great matches. So I think right now there's only a handful of matches that have been permanently signed for this. So I think it's Rhea versus Io, JC Jane versus Jordan Grace for the NXT Women's Championship. And I think that actually might be it right now. But still, I'm assuming that in the Battle Royal. So those, I think, are the 3 matches right now. So, like you said, time of recording, you know, we got 10 days. We got to start throwing some matches in, guys. Get the stuff rolling.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. I will be on assignment, so I will not be here to. Well, we got a couple other things we'll talk about then, but regardless, last thing, because we're going to talk about Night of Champions quickly. So last thing we want to bring up, Tony Khan had recently confirmed that next year's All In will be held at Wembley Stadium.
Yep.
Good sign. Awesome sign. But also we went to clarify why we're in Texas, why All In is not over in the UK. Long story short, and, you know, it looks like Coldplay, the weekend they were going to book, Coldplay actually had the venue booked, and it was like years in advance.
Yep. That's I had a little chuckle when I read that. I'm like, really? Like Coldplay? Come on, guys.
I'm really surprised they couldn't pick a different weekend either.
Exactly. I was thinking, why not just do the next week or the week earlier? Like, I don't know. Like, do they need like a whole lot of time to? You've done this twice now. You should know the layout of the land. But I mean, I don't know. I don't make the rules. I don't book anything. So I'm sure there was things that they couldn't do. So they had Plan B and they went to Texas. I think. What was it? I haven't looked in a little bit, but I think ticket sales were close to 20K. So hopefully before, you know, next weekend, they can continue to bump that up. But I know that, what was it? 80,000 for the first one and like 52,000 for the second one or something. I don't know. My numbers might be a little off, but you know, I'm hoping, because it makes me feel bad that only 20,000 for Texas, and I'm like, you'd think that, you know, it being at home, you'd get a lot more American fans, but you'd also get the, you know, out of country fans as well. But I don't know. They still got time, so hopefully, I'm rooting for them. I want them to do well. And from, you know, from what I've seen, I'm only a week behind now. I was able to catch up a lot, so I'll probably be good to go for All In. But I'm not going to be here either, so not going to be able to watch it live. So there's no sense in me buying the pay-per-view. But yeah, I'm hoping it does well. Texas death match in the main event. Like, everybody and their mother is going to be fighting in that match. I know it. Like, the whole roster is going to come out at some point. I just know it. It's going to be absolutely insane.
Do you think that the scheduling of Great American Bash, what else is going on that day? Oh, Saturday Night's Main Event that night.
Yes.
Do you think those have an effect on that?
I mean, it's possible. I mean, WWE's been playing this game, you know, ever since AEW really started catching fire. They're like, oh, let's see what we can, you know, whether I rolled my eyes, nobody could see us behind my glasses, but you want to think that they're on the up and up about this, but come on now, this is business. There's no way in hell they're doing that on purpose, especially when you sandwich 3 of your own events around one event from the competitor. You're trying to siphon people. So you're making people choose between one product and the other. That's not as, you know, it's not as difficult for the rest of us who are not going. But for those who want to go to one of these events, it's like, well, now you're going to have to watch the other ones after the fact. You can't watch them live. So, I mean, from a business sense, it makes sense why they're doing it. Is it a little sleazy? Yes, I will definitely agree.
Yeah.
I feel like people try to do the same thing around like WrestleMania, but they know better to really kind of plan their events Saturday and Sunday. They do everything Wednesday through Friday. They don't dare touch the weekend. If they do, they're small events, and they're normally in the morning. But I feel like the respect thing should be both ways, because you don't want your competitor to fall apart, because look what we were in before AEW. So it's like, we don't want to go back to that. Like, yes, you might have fans that like one or over the other. That's great, and that's fine. You have your choice. You're allowed to have it. But you shouldn't wish the other competitor to die because you don't like them as much. Competition breeds better
innovation.
things. Yes.
Yeah. And I mean, we talk about it all the time. AEW, for some reason, and I will never understand this, and this goes for any industry. This goes for, maybe not video games. If you kill wrestling, like if you kill one brand, you're not automatically going to bring everybody from AEW over to WWE.
Right.
You know, as well as I know, plenty of people who watch AEW because, hey, this reminds me of like wrestling back in the 90s.
Yep.
And there are plenty of people, I would put money down. There were people that did not watch WWE once WCW collapsed.
Correct. I've had friends tell me when AEW formed, they're like, this is the first time I've watched wrestling since WCW went under. Like, I refused to watch WWE. I'm like, all right, fair enough. I'm like, welcome back to the wrestling group. You know, I'm happy you're watching again. Mm-hmm. You know, let me know how you feel about it. But yeah, like there are some people that were just so anti what WWE did. They're like, I don't want to watch wrestling anymore. And then AEW showed up again. And it's like, oh, it's a nice little mixture of what WCW and ECW tried to do back in the 90s. So, hey, that's what resonates with me. It was nostalgic. So like, hey, let's go. Let's give it a shot.
Yeah. And pretty much going off of that, you're not going to win that whole crowd over. You know, You're going to probably lose. A lot of people are going to stop watching.
Right.
Yeah, your product's good now. I mean, and again, there's arguments right now, and I think you've seen them. I disagree. I think WWE is super solid right now, but there are people who right now think that WWE is starting to take a slow tumble.
Oh yeah, it's so funny, like watching like the internet wrestling community like go into an absolute meltdown if one thing doesn't go the way they want it to. They're like, oh, the company's going under. TKO is killing WWE. They're sucking all the money out of them because they're in debt. Hello, most people are in debt, companies included. So yeah, if WWE is TKO's cash cow right now. So yeah, they're gonna milk it until there's not a lot of money left. But thankfully, people are still paying the outrageous prices to go to these shows. They still get a lot of sellouts. So clearly they're still doing something right. So I hope and pray that there's not things happening on the back end. It doesn't feel like it is. Have there been some questionable things that WWE has done recently? Yes, but that's par for the course. That's how this is. It's a wrestling business. There's always ebbs and flows when it comes to stuff. So, yeah, we were all riding high when Vince was finally gone and Triple H had full reign, full control. Everything was great. And then it kind of got a little dull for a little bit. That's fine. It happens. Then it comes back up again. Everybody's all excited. They sign all these new people. Penta comes in. Ray Phoenix comes in. Stuff like that. And it happens. Just enjoy the ride. The Rock said it himself. He said, just enjoy the ride I'm taking you on. Just do it. He's another one too. Like he came in all hot, bothered with freaking Hell in a Cell, and then disappears off the face of the planet.
Yeah. So yeah, this coming week. Yeah, actually, now I think about it, is this weekend, huh? So I had to think about that. I'm like sitting there, oh yeah, it's coming up soon. I'm like, oh yeah, time of record. Yeah. All right. So we will have pick shows at the end of the week, guys. Look for picks. I believe we'll also be doing our Bedlam in the Bank.
Yes, that is correct. We'll be recording it on a Wednesday before, because Sam's taking off the next day. We're going to do our spin the wheel, make the deal, because that's how the Bedlam in the Bank works. Ethan will be our master of ceremonies. He'll have the wheel ready, and then we'll spin away. We'll see who lands on who. Those will be our picks. And then the winner is Mr. Bedlam in the Bank. And then they will have up until the night of WrestleMania Night 2 to cash in and have a chance to become champion. Right now, actually, if we're going to talk points, as of Night of Champions, which was our last one, Ethan has taken the lead yet again at 4. I'm right behind him at 3. And Sam, unfortunately, still has 0. So there are 3 pick shows next week. Well, 3 pick shorts that we'll have, one for Great American Bash, one for Evolution 2, and one for All In. So who knows? Sam can get 6 points and it blow us both out of the water. So who knows?
I'm not watching, because that's how that works. All right. So we're going to kind of wrap things up. We're going to go right over to talk Night of Champions really quickly. Usually Ethan will jot this down. Hopefully, if he doesn't show up by the time we end recording, we're going to ask him what his Ethan picks were. We need a website just to kind of get the Ethan picks all
exactly
squared away. But 6 matches going top to bottom. Cody Rhodes taking on, defeating Randy Orton, become the king of the ring. Rhea Ripley defeating Raquel Rodriguez in a street fight. Sami Zayn defeating Karrion Kross. Solo Sikoa defeating Jacob Fatu to become the new U.S. champion. Jade Cargill defeated Asuka to become the queen of the ring. And then John Cena pinning CM Punk to retain the undisputed WWE championship. Scott, how'd you feel the show was?
I enjoyed it. It felt very solid. The crowd was actually pretty good for most of the matches. I don't know. I have some thoughts, but I think I'll keep them to myself. There are certain things that I wasn't too much of a fan of some of the reactions to certain things or certain people. But it is what it is. Obviously, Sam had done a short about this recently, that Saudi will have 3 shows in 2026, including starting off with the Rumble. We don't know what the other one is. I'm assuming Crown Jewel at some point, even though Crown Jewel this year is in Australia, which is kind of, guess not weird because they've had one before actually, so that at least makes sense. But I would assume Crown Jewel would eventually go back to Saudi, and then whatever the third one they end up happening or having. So I don't know, but it is what it is. I think they still have another 5 years, I think, on their initial
2030,
deal. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I thought the reactions, like you said, were a lot better. I remember the first few shows; it looked like they just had a bunch of, I don't want to say higher ups, but like upper class Saudi.
Honestly, I think it was like the actual fans were, I think, in like the second or third tier in all like the, I don't want to say royalty, but maybe like the upper classes and whatever were the ones around ringside. And I can't remember watching the matches, and then you'd see random groups of people just get up and walk in during the matches, and that was so distracting. I'm like, trying to pay attention to the show, and I can't because I only see is you people walking around.
And I swear they weren't even in chair. Like they had like it almost looked like they were on couches or like like they were in like their own like living room.
Yep.
I remember that, and that's why I was glad this time I had noticed. And again, I hadn't really noticed the fans there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But man, yeah, the fans were better. I thought the matches were pretty good. Ethan's telling me to let him in. I don't know where Ethan is. Yeah, no, the show overall was really good. An improvement. I know what you're talking about. I feel like there were a couple of cheers I had noticed. Sorry, we're trying to get him in. Can you?
That's fine. Yeah, no, I don't know. It's just, it's obviously it's not an American crowd. It's not a Canadian crowd. Not even a Mexican crowd. So everybody responds a little bit differently to things, and I don't know. It's just, I feel like they react a certain way to certain people on the roster, and I don't feel like it's fair to those wrestlers how they respond. I don't know if that's just baked into how they are, and hopefully that's something that can get changed as time goes on. But yeah, it is what it is, unfortunately.
Yeah. And, you know, we know the Royal Rumble is there next year. I don't know how that's going to play out.
I mean, they did have the greatest Royal Rumble way back in the day, so it gave us Titus World Slide, which still is one of the most hilarious things ever, and also could have been like life ending for him if he fell like a foot higher. I mean, it's going to be the Rumble. It's fine. It's just, it kind of sucks that it's not stateside or, you know, North American side, because I don't know. Those are always a lot of fun to watch. I know that they just, another one of the shorts that you did, they just said that Survivor Series War Games coming to, what was it?
San Diego.
So that's fun. It's going to be in the stadium. So we'll get that. Survivor Series is a lot of fun. I remember when they came to Boston a couple years ago when they did the first War Games. Man, that I paid a steep price for where I sat, but the experience alone was just, yeah, it's well worth it. It's one of those things that it's like, yep, a lot of fun. Definitely will do this again.
Yeah, I need to go. I'm actually glad they're keeping the moniker. I think so. I don't know why it came up. I don't know if people were worried they were going to get rid of War Games.
I think they were worried about people being bored with it, because the first couple had a story. Well, the first one had storyline going into it. The second one kind of had a storyline, but yet it was kind of thrown together. So it's kind of, you want to see how things go this time around.
Yeah, because it's funny you say that, because we're they're like, oh, you think people are gonna get bored of War Games? Like, what's Survivor Series been for the past 30 years?
Exactly.
Multi-man tags.
Right. Yep.
And especially, I remember again during Vince's like his twilight years. 2017, 2018, no problems. All of a sudden, the brands are attacking each other. Hey, aren't they buddies?
Right.
Well, yeah, but
It's Survivor Series.
so Ethan here, joining us a little late into the show. Hey, buddy, how we doing?
I'm tired.
I hear you on that one.
I had shit to do, which was beyond I was on assignment for longer than I thought it was gonna be.
It's all right.
But
Sometimes those assignments go a little longer than they're supposed to.
Better late than never. But I see the stat man's not here.
No, he
had to go on an assignment himself. So
yeah, he actually had to leave at 6. So
yeah.
Sorry, stat man, but hi.
So we were just wrapping up. We were just talking about Night of Champions. We just ran down the card. Ethan, thoughts? Ethan picks?
No Ethan picks.
Wow. Okay.
It's been a while since we've had. No
it's been a while since we've had a show with no Ethan picks on it.
Been a while. Fighting tail on that one this time. So Night Champs was a good show. I do like it. That's in the afternoon.
Yes, that was nice.
Well, I had to watch it in the evening because I was working when it happened.
Right.
Wah, wah, wah. But that's okay. So I'll give my reigns real quick. So Cody and Randy, let's be honest, we all know Cody was winning. Randy Orton goes back to back, by the way, of finalists.
Yep.
7 out of 10. The women's street fight, 6 out of 10. Same thing, Karen Cross, 6 out of 10. US Thomas, 6 out of 10. Queen of the Ring, I'll be nice, 6 out of 10. And Cena and Punk, 6.5 out of 10.
Wow. Okay.
I don't do as much, but I don't know. I felt it was a little too. If I had to nitpick, I thought it was a little too long.
Okay.
I did love Charles Robinson bolting down her like WrestleMania 24, and then
he got destroyed. Oh man, I felt so bad for little Nate.
Which way on the Raw recap, he said, yeah, during the Undertaker run, it was 100%. Here, 80%, and people were like, "That's 80%."
He booked it too. Yeah, that was nuts.
But it was a good show. It was quick. Not the worst of Raven show they did. The early ones were kind of the crappiest ones, but I win again, so I go off the 3.
I know. Yeah, I mentioned that before.
Sam's gimmick of the loserweight champ might come true, boys.
Well, don't forget that we do have an NXT show we got to do.
Ah, crap!
And I won't be watching it live
next week, and we have 3 shows.
We have 3 shorts to do,
and a Bedlam in the Bank.
Bedlam in the Bank. Yep.
So we have 4 technically.
Yes, technically yes.
Busy
week next week.
If some people were wondering, it's Slam. So the pick shows are Slammiversary, Great American Bash, and was Evolution counted?
Wait. Slammiversary is at the end of the month, the 20th.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, but I'm just going in general for pick shows.
Great American Bash,
All Out,
Evolution 2, and All In. Those are the 3. And
then All In. Sorry, I'm thinking September.
Yeah. And then Sam and I are doing Bedlam in the Bank for ROH's
Supercard of Honor.
Thank you. Yeah.
Sorry, Slammiversary. Yeah, I'm thinking. Oh, because I seen the TNA stuff talking about today. So I mean, quick watch for 9 Chance. I give it a 7 out of 10 overall. By the way, Hikaleo's and WWE. Oh, I'm sorry, Talatonga.
Oh my God, there's too many Tongans.
Should have kept it. Honestly, Hikaleo's a better name.
Yeah.
What's the special gonna be called? The tall climb.
Who knows? Jesus.
All right. Well,
speaking of that, sorry to interrupt you before we go out. Roman Reigns just had or just welcomed, I think it was his 6th child.
Mm-hmm.
So the family grows. Yes, we acknowledge our tribal chief, but my God, these Samoans,
the bloodline's never gonna. Also, you know what the promotion's gonna call it, Scott? All Samoan wrestling,
pretty much,
or a Samoan Championship Wrestling. That's the one I've been going with.
Yep.
No, the Bloodline Championship Wrestling. Come on, boys.
That's right.
That works.
It's BCW. There we go.
Hey, Haku's the commissioner.
So before while we already sign off, as Ethan has come on, because Ethan and I also have other things we need to record. Ethan, why don't you tell people where they can find you at?
Cool. Quick and run like Cena in that 6-man tag match after WrestleMania. You can follow me on Twitter as wrestling_fan_9. Yeah, everywhere else. pwman.com, buysome.net. Turnbuckle times one. God, I need a fucking thing right here. Just right.
Right, you need your own rolling thing.
Yeah, any of those websites you can find me. Swansea ATR for Twitter. I do getting back to Japan stuff. June just got busy for me. I just lost track of time.
No, I get it.
Can't believe we're in July already.
I know.
By the way, happy early 4th of July, boys.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
And Blake Canada Day.
That's right.
For all
That's
Canadians. But yeah.
And Scott, where can everybody find you at?
You can find me pretty much everywhere. It's Scotty G Stream. Just a reminder to everybody that due to Sam and I double booking ourselves, we will not be doing Saturday night's main event live. So there'll be no recording, or I should say no live streaming in the future, or for the future.
Boo,
I know.
boo.
We don't know when Saturday night's main event's coming back. I hope there's another one before December, because I probably will be there live, not recording. So
Yeah, because Scott can record live in Boston.
yeah, the streaming will go so well.
Scott be in the crowd, and off to Scott via satellite in Boston. Thanks, guys.
Yes. Maybe I will. Joining me live from satellite.
My God, he's at the building.
All right. Scott, you told them where we can find you, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. You can find me as Yes to Be Official. I also handle the Bedlam media _ Bedlam. John the Statman was supposed to be here, but he was not, and we need to get him back on X because we all need to be in one spot. We are on all streaming platforms. Please make sure you like, share, subscribe, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Guys, we are out of time. Thanks so much for listening. And as always, do not forget to join the Bedlam.
Thanks, guys.